This is sabich, and it's also my lunch. You've heard of falafel, maybe you've heard of shawarma. Well, something I love about sabich, this uniquely Israeli food, is that it's full of contrasts and contradictions and complements, and somehow it all works so well together. The crunch of the cucumbers with the softness of the hard-boiled egg, the richness of the fried eggplant with the zing of the amba. This popular Israeli street food blends old and new religious tradition and modern life, Middle Eastern flavors and universal appeal, all inside a fluffy pita. It isn't just delicious, it's a symbol of how Israel brings together things that may not seem like they go together, but somehow they really do. You don't just see it in the food, or the music, or the amazing people you meet. You see this everywhere when you visit Israel. So let's take a little journey through a country that never stops surprising, challenging, and inspiring me. And let's look at some of the beautiful contradictions and complements that Israel somehow holds together in harmony. Israel is a tiny country. How small? You could drive from the very top to the very bottom in about 6 hours. And in some places, you could cross the whole country from east to west in just 20 minutes. But even with its small size, one thing you can't help but notice, no matter where you go, is how many different landscapes there are throughout the country, and how unique each place is. Imagine getting off the plane at Ben Gurion Airport and driving to the coast of the Mediterranean Sea, Yam HaTichon. In Yafo, one of the oldest port cities in the world, Arab and Jewish communities live side by side. There are bustling flea markets, historic stone alleys, and a stunning seafront to watch the sun set over the water. And in Tel Aviv, you'll find beautiful beaches, white Bauhaus buildings, food markets, street art, and high-rise offices. In Tel Aviv and across Israel, you'll meet tech developers creating the innovations of tomorrow and see how modern life thrives alongside ancient history. Israel doesn't have much land, water, or natural resources, but it has ideas. Ideas that have created amazing inventions that help change the world. Out of Israel's limited resources sprang the creativity that makes Israel known today as the startup nation. If you keep heading north from Tel Aviv up the Mediterranean coast, you can visit the charming beaches of Herzliya and Netanya. And to get another dose of history, stop at Caesarea to explore the remains of a Roman port city, complete with ancient amphitheaters and aqueducts by the sea. Then, imagine heading to Haifa at the base of Mount Carmel, another great example of Israeli diversity and thriving modern life. There, you can visit the Shrine of the Bab and its stunning Baha'i gardens. You can check out the historic architecture of the German colony, explore the high-tech innovations coming out of the Technion, and take in a major Israeli center of science, industry, and art. Continuing north to Akko, you can walk through Crusader tunnels and Ottoman-era markets in a city layered with history. On just one coast, only kilometers from each other, you have taken in modern beaches, ancient structures, and people of many faiths all living the next chapter of their history side by side. And it's not just the coast where you can find such unique places. You can travel inland through the Galilee, the Galil, visiting Nazareth, a major Christian pilgrimage city and a vibrant center of Arab life. Continue then to Tzfat, the mystical Jewish hilltop city known for Torah study, cobblestone alleys, and artist galleries. Keep traveling north through the Golan Heights, Ramat Golan, and visit Majd al-Shams, a Druze village at the foot of Mount Hermon, where you can actually ski in the winter. On one street in these northern cities, you might hear ancient prayers in a synagogue, church, or mosque. On the next, you'll see people skateboarding, playing music, or hanging out at cafes. You'll hear Hebrew, Arabic, English, French, Russian, German, and many more languages as old friends catch up and new friends are made. If you circle around the Sea of Galilee, the Kinneret, you'll also find vibrant culture and religious history all around. Sites around this freshwater lake are especially holy to Christians and Jews. The city of Tveria was an ancient center of Jewish learning, where rabbinic texts that shaped Jewish life were written down. It's also the burial place of many Jewish sages, including Maimonides, the Rambam. At the southern tip of the Kinneret, you can visit Kibbutz Degania, the first kibbutz in Israel. Ancient history, modern history, holy sites, and centers of innovation everywhere. And don't even get me started on Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, Israel's capital and the beating heart of the Jewish homeland. Here, Jewish culture, language, and memory come alive in one of the most complex cities in the world, meaningful to 3 major world religions. In the old city of Jerusalem, you'll find holy sites for Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Among them, the Western Wall, the Kotel, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and the Dome of the Rock. The old city is subdivided into Muslim, Christian, Armenian, and Jewish quarters. Outside the old city walls, you can explore the diversity of Israeli cuisine at Machne Yehuda Market, visit museums that tell the story of Israel and the Jewish people, and see the Supreme Court and Knesset, Israel's parliament, in action. Jerusalem on its own is an amazing example of how people of different faiths live side by side, how modern life is built on ancient stones, and how history is echoed in the innovations of today. Here, religious neighborhoods sit alongside hubs of technology and industry, and ancient towers stand across modern buildings. But we've barely even scratched the surface of what you can find across Israel. If you travel south, you can hike the trails of Ein Gedi, float in the Dead Sea, Yam HaMelach, and spend the night gazing at the stars in the wide-open Negev desert. At sunrise, climb up the winding paths of Mitzada, an ancient fortress built by King Herod, where Jewish rebels held out against the Romans. In Be'er Sheva, you'll find Ben Gurion University, a center for technology and innovation. Continuing south into the Arava Valley, check out Kibbutz Keturah, a leader in environmental and agricultural research. And in Israel's southernmost city of Eilat, you can swim with the dolphins in the Red Sea and explore the coral reefs that stretch out beneath the waves. As you travel through this desert landscape, you'll find farmers growing produce, artists pushing the limits of their creativity, and scientists leading the way in new discoveries and research. All across Israel, you'll find a land full of contrasts, and somehow they all work together. So what makes Israel so unique? Israel is a country full of variety, even though it's small. That's true of the land itself and the people who live here. Whenever I travel around Israel, and especially as I eat all of its delicious food, I see a place that balances and brings into harmony things that seem to contradict each other. How can a place be ancient and modern, the Jewish home and a home for all its citizens, a place that holds multiple hopes and dreams and histories and people all at the same time? Unified by an eternal story, a sense of peoplehood, and a love for a shared home, Israeli society builds a bright future in a place rich with history. Just like sabich, which makes something amazing by mixing different flavors and textures, Israel has found a way to hold seeming contradictions together to make something special and beautiful. And to me, there's nowhere else quite like it in the world.